A moment, guys. Few technical difficulties. We'll get to the start of the stream very soon, so keep your pants on. I'll be reading the comments very soon. The stream hasn't started yet. Well, it has, but not officially. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and you're watching EFL Season 1, Round 5 of Spain Catalonia. I'm your commentator and owner of EFL, Eric Salama, and Round 5 of EFL, Alfonso leading the championship from Toxic Tomato and Napla 185, so we're gonna have a real Sloppy Grand Prix here today, and I'm gonna quickly test my voice. We have Alfonso saying hello, and Fishy saying hello, so good evening to you, ladies, gentlemen, so... And voice is not so sexy, but it's still working. Stream is working, everything's fine. So, write to the comments who is gonna win the Grand Prix today, and please guess your top 3 for the race. And now we're just waiting for people to actually go to the track. And we had to start today 30 minutes earlier than usual because I have to go to Russia after 9 p.m. to, well, get my grandmother because she has birthday on Sunday. So we're gonna celebrate in a Russian style, champagne, wine, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a Russian culture for you. We have a lot of people going to the track, wedding up to the track. One of them is PMP Tron Cat, who led the championship after Australia. Then we have James Killer and one of the Racing Points, and I believe that's VRT Shape. Body is going to the track, and if you have any questions about the EFL or anything at all concerning motorsport or real life, just PM me and I'll be more than happy to answer to one of your questions. As now we're gonna just wait when people are going to start their laps. We have X Games NL and PMP Tron Cats probably the first ones to actually to go to the track. And Spain Catalonia, what I can say about this track, it's a very demanding track. Not many places you can overtake. The only overtaking spots you can do is to corners 1 and I believe to corner 4. Those are the only overtakes you can actually do cleanly in this track. So qualifying is extremely important in Spain Catalonia, so being in the highest position for the race is very crucial, but also it also affects what tires you're gonna start in. So that's gonna be the real thing. As I believe PMP Tri-Catch is gonna be the first one to start a lap, so we'll go on board of his Aston Martin Red Bull Racing. He goes very wide in the last corner, but yeah, he's starting his lap, and let's just enjoy the lap he's gonna do. And most of the drivers are with soft tires, but we know that there's a glitch in Formula 1 game where It doesn't show what tires you have until you've crossed the finish line, and we have yellows in sector 3, but nobody's retired because I didn't get any information about that, so somebody just spun in sector 3 or just slowed down massively. And yeah, PMP trying to catch, you can see in the top right, he's with hard tires. So that's probably a smart maneuver in the beginning. In the beginning to hard tires and in the end to mediums. Or then you can stick towards the medium tires. And PMP trying to catch corner cut at that corner, but I don't know is it invalidated or not. At least he's still continuing his lap, and he bounced a little bit. And there's a racing point right behind him, probably VRT Sape, but VRT Sape overtook him. So we'll follow VRT Sape's lap. And there's yellows in sector 1, so a lot of yellow flags, and I don't know did VRT Sape's lap get compromised or not, but we'll see it in the finish line. He's driving with the soft tires, but I don't think that's a smart strategy actually. But yeah, he's going to the pits and he crosses over PMP, but it's legal because you can do it in the pits. Who is closest one to actually finish the lap? And I believe it's going to be X Games NL who's going to get slipstream over that Mercedes, and X Games NL does a 1:18.8. He beats James Killer's lap down by 1.8 seconds, and Imad goes P2 with 1:19.5 with hard tires. And I try to find the first driver to okay, let's follow Toxic Tomato as Body Dweller moves himself to P3 with 1:19.7 with soft tires. We also have to remember that safety car glitch has been happening in the game, so it might be a smart maneuver to go to soft tires if the safety car is going to come out in the race in a bit early stages, as Body Dweller retired from the race, and that's his qualifying over. Very unfortunate for his qualifying, but as Felix Negua, one of the new reserve drivers of EFL, he set it at 1:19.7 with the hard tires. So we have J-Luke 11 who goes P7. We'll see what the new regular driver TSR Fishy does in his lap, as he does a 1:19.3, which moves him to P2 position. So very great lap from TSR Fishy with hard tires compared to X Games NL's soft ones. Toxic Tomato starting a new lap, but is anybody else in a lap actually? I believe Alfonso Gomez is in his lap, so. But so is James Killer, who's improving by 2/10 as he's coming towards the last corner of corner 16. We'll see what time he does. He does a 1:20.5. He doesn't improve. Now Alfonso Gomez is overtaking that slowly moving Ferrari of I believe that's Semi Larrican. So but yeah, if you have any questions, just write it to the comments. Guess your top 3 for the qualifying and for the race. So you're not gonna win any prizes, but it's always a good fun small competition between the viewers. As now Alfonso Gomez, the championship leader and hometown hero of Spain, is gonna cross the line, and he moves himself to P2 with 1:19 and flat, only 2/10 of X Games NL soft time. So that's a very impressive lap from Alfonso Gomez, as Toxic Tomato sets a 1:18.8, and there's yellows in sector 3, but that was incredible lap by Toxic Tomato. And I try to follow someone who is in the lap. And James Killer is down by 5/10, so he will not be improving. There's once again yellows in sector 1 and sector 3, but nobody's retiring. So VRT Shape is starting his lap with a hard tire, so let's keep an eye on him, what he's gonna do. But that was impressive by Toxic Tomato, taking the pole position with hard tires compared to X Games and now soft tires. That was a very, very impressive trick indeed from the young Welsh driver. Well, he's young and young. I believe he's 17 or 16. So yeah. But VRT Shape, he's not gonna get in traffic, as that I believe that's a Mercedes car who lets him past, and I believe that was Alfonso Gomez. A lot of yellows in sector 2, sector 3, so probably game just putting them if somebody slows down massively. As VRT Shape has hit the wall, and did he retire? Yes, he retired, but we got a very bad camera angle, and that's his qualifying over. VRT Shape, some call him the Battle Lele, and he certainly did battle this qualifying, and he'll be starting from the last place. Very unfortunate for the Racing Point drivers of VRT Shape, who won the last race in Azerbaijan and put his mark to the championship battle, but it wasn't to be. And J-Luke 11 is I I try to find a close one as Devetsevap Chichi moves himself to P4 position with 119 and flat. He's 2/10 off Toxic Tomatoes lap. So as PMP try catch it at 121.5, and that moves him to P15 position. And people who are joining the stream, do not just adjust the TV sets. This is EFL F1, and you're watching round 5 of EFL, and it's qualifying. And after qualifying, it's going to be the race. As Hamza is just finishing his lap, and he sets a 120.5, which moves him to P13 position. So there's a lot of work to do, but most of the drivers here are qualifying with the hard tires. So nobody's going towards the medium tires, surprisingly. As Semi Larrican is going to the pits, as I believe Napla is starting his lap very soon, so does Jay Luke. James Kilo is coming to the pits, just like Alfa Romeo driver of, I believe that's a David Warbank, aka also known as Ayrton Senna 1812. And we have a new comments coming on. Keep the comments coming on. I'll be reading them very soon. As nobody's actually in the lap. I believe Hartza is in his lap, so. Alfonso Gomez riding not bad. I have a reserve time, really bad luck of Sapele. I'm sure he will come back, yeah. I'm sure he's one of your championship rivals, so. But J. Luke 11 has retired from the session, and Hartza corner cutted that corner massively. We all do know of that corner cutting glitch of corner 16, but. And he moves himself to P2, but he lost 4 thousandths of a second to Toxic Tomato, who set it his lap on hard tires, so 2 sets harder than Hartza, and he wasn't able to beat him. Although track is improving, but that only shows how impressive lap the young Welsh driver did in the early stage with his hard tires. As Felix Negua, one of our newest reserve drivers for EFL, IRL F2 driver, is making his debut here today in Spain, so we'll see how he does. But he's 5 tenths down. X Games NL is going to start his lap, and Hartza is probably going back to the pits, so he's not improving. James Killer is starting his lap, so we're going to go on board of James Killer. And I'm just gonna. Yellow's in sector 2, but nobody's retired. There's only 3 retirements of the session, and that's from CG8 87 Leclerc, J-Luke 11, and VRT Shape. Only drivers who have retired from the session, and VRT Shape the only one at the moment from the drivers who retired who's not set at the lap in the entire session, so that's automatically gonna put him to last position. Even though Eduk has a qualifying ban, he will not start from the last place because of VRT Shape retired before him. As James Killer is gonna come towards corner 2, he's coming towards the corner 9 of Heikki Kovalainen corner. We all remember what happened to Heikki's steering in 2008 when he smashed to the wall. And James Killer is improving by 1/10 in sector 2. And we know if you can nail the last corners of from 10 to 16, you can improve so much. It's all about how you take the chicane in the end of corner 14 and 15. And now he's coming towards the chicane corner, and he corner got it a little bit, so people do corner cut that corner. As X Games NL says the fastest lap of 1:18.1, so that's very impressive lap time from X Games NL, who's in provisional pole position time, but James Killer did not improve his lap time, and he sticks in P13. And a lot of drivers in the pit, 6 minutes remaining in the session. You can write your top 3 of qualifying, and also you can write your top 3 for the race. You're gonna get mentioned in this stream if you get it right, as TSR Fishy has left from the session, probably a disconnection or something, but James Killer is going back to the pits. Napolo is starting his lap. We'll see, is Toxic Tomato in his lap? He is, and Toxic Tomato is actually driving with the soft tires. Is he serious? Is he gonna drive? No way, if he's gonna qualify on soft sits, and no, he's okay. It's invalidated, so he just drove for the heck of it. Because I was thinking, if you can be in P2 with the hard tires, I don't think you need to go for the soft tires in the qualifying. And we have a new comment coming. Probably somebody guessing. Mercedes is saying he spun twice on his lap. If you can rejoin, try to rejoin back. I've sent it backup invites to all of the drivers, I believe. So you can use and also you can join through the profile of somebody. I'm gonna put myself online for a moment, guys. Sorry for this, but yeah. Okay, now I'm online. If you can't use the invite, just use the profile on my game, and you can rejoin back. As now we're following Napla 185. He's in third place, currently in the championship. Driver of TSR Esports Academy and one of the co-owners of Tiger Esports Racing Team. He goes very wide, but we'll see. Is the clock gonna like his time or not? He's down by 35 thousandths of a second, but we don't know how much it's gonna affect the last sector that he made that mistake. But he really is pushing the car to the limits. This, I guess, youngish Formula 1 driver in F1 2019, and he's backing out, and I believe he made a mistake in that lap and probably going to the pits. A little bit tank slapping to the end for the viewers, but as Amedy, who also is making his debut for EFL, so it's very interesting to see how Amedy, former UPL driver, is gonna do, as he does a bounce on that corner. But and we'll see, gonna see sector 2 time is 51.3, and he's improving by 5/10. And Sondre, my favorite Norwegian person. How you doing, man? How you doing? We have most of IRL here, so who are you gonna support? Are you gonna support Toxic Tomato or Felix Negua? You can say who you're gonna support. But now Amedy is finishing his lap, and we'll see what lap time he's gonna do. He did a corner 16 very beautifully, and it's a 118.3, and it moves him to P2 position. He just jumped Toxic Tomato by 5/10, but he's 2/10 off from the pole position guy XGamesNL, who's driven his lap with soft tires. And now we have all the drivers in the pits except Harta, who is actually in the softs, about to start his final one. So very smart maneuver. There's a clean track ahead of him. Nobody is gonna hold him up in this lap. And you're doing the standings. I know it's pain in the ass. You have 3 divisions. I have only 1 division, so I have much easier job making the standings than you have. But happy standings making, and hopefully you'll see some of the race, and hopefully the driver you support wins. We're neutral in this league, so I can't say who wins or not. But yeah, happy standing ridings. As Harta is about to start his lap, he's gonna come to the end of sector 1 very shortly. He does a lap sector 1 of 22.3. You're also my favorite Norwegian person, Sondre. Those of you who don't know Sondre, he's the owner of International Racing League, what is racing on Saturdays and Sundays. Division 1 is running, I believe, 6:30 p.m. UK time, and Division 2 in Sundays, where I'm driving, it's running in 4:30 p.m. UK time. So if you want to join IRL, just contact Sondre in PSN. That's ZE3EXE3. So contact him if you want to get to IRL. So I'm doing a little bit promotion to IRL at the moment, but Hartza messed his lap time, and he's about to let the Alfa Romeo driver past, who is XGamesNL. And now we have most of the drivers going from the pitch to the track, and we'll see what lap times they're about to do. Who's the closest one actually to start a lap? I believe it's gonna be it's Fishy actually. Fishy is in the lap, and he's coming towards sector 1, but he wants very wide. We'll see what sector time he's about to do. He did a 21.799, and he's improving by almost 3/10 of his lap. Now he's gonna come towards sector 2 very soon. He has to just do the tricky corners of 7 and 8. Now he's losing the wheel a little bit, and that's an invalidation. That is an invalidation in my books, but he's still continuing the lap. He wants wide, and yeah, he's qualifying over, so it's going to be P7 or worse for TSR Fishy, who is a McLaren driver. And there's a Mercedes going wide. He's letting the McLaren past of Hartza, and Hartza is in his lap as TSR Fishy decided to retire from the session, and that's his qualifying over. And we try to follow XGamesNL, who is in provisional pole position, and we'll see what he's about to do. He's just done a corner 9. He was a little bit wide, but we'll see, is that time gonna like his time or not. Sector 2 is gonna be 51.4, and he's down by 1/10 of his time but can the young Dutch driver take his first pole position in EFL? The young Max Verstappen, or is it going to be the next Christian Albans, or is it going to be the next somebody else? Because I don't know many Dutch drivers in F1. But anyways, he's coming towards the last corners of 14 and 15. He's going to do the 14-15 chicane, and now he's coming towards the corner 16, the last corners of this race, last corners of this qualifying. We'll see, can the Alfa Romeo driver improve his time? And he can't. He lost 5 tenths, so he will not improve his time, but we'll see what position he will start the race. And now we have Sevap Cici, who is coming towards the end of sector 2 as James Killer moves himself to P3 with the medium tires with 118 and 6. But we'll try to follow Sevap Cici. What he's gonna do, he's coming towards the corners of 11 and 12 very shortly. The demanding corners where they have to take so much inside line to make the most of the lap work. And Sevap Cici, who got P3 from China, a good race in Azerbaijan. And we'll see how the young German driver is gonna do in the Spanish qualifying. He's coming towards the line, and he's going to be pole position for Sevap Cici or not. And he set a 118.1, and that's provisional pole position for Sevap Cici 007. Very impressive lap from him. And the young German driver is about to take first pole position in EFL as Hamto is 7 seconds down. So we'll watch somebody else. As Toxic Tomato got a 5-place quit penalty collision with James Killer. So as Samuel American has gone wide. Felix Negua is in the sector 2. Alfonso Gomez, the championship leader and the hometown hero, is in his lap also. So, but who is first? Is it Toxic Tomato or is it Alfonso Gomez? As Amadi moves himself to P3 position, and we'll see what Alfonso Gomez is about to do, as there's a Toro Rosso going wide in the turn 9 as Alfonso is improving by 5 tenths, and so he might challenge Sevap Cici's pole position. It's going to be the German driver. It's going to be the hometown hero, the local hero from Spain, El Matador, El Diablo, Alfonso Gomez. So it's going to be the German Deutschland driver of Sevap Cici 007. It's going to be Williams, so it's going to be Mercedes, just like in the older days of Formula 1. And Alfonso Gomez is crossing the line, and he's going to take pole position, and yes, he is, with 17 and 8. Very impressive lap from Alfonso Gomez, who's taken the pole position in this Grand Prix. Impressive lap. We saw a 117.8 in the qualifying, followed by Sevap Cici's 18.1 and X Games NL's 118.1, but he starts with a soft tire. So Amadi impressively in P4, James Kilo in P5, Toxic Tomato in P6, both McLaren's P7 and P8, Bodie Drell in P9, and Felix Negua in P10. But we have to remember Toxic Tomato has that 5-place quit penalty collision with James Killer, so if you have any incidents, just record them and send them after the race to Q-Tip or XGamesNL276. And now I'm gonna check the comments as I have a time. So yeah, oh yeah, Joshua Verstappen, yeah, of course, thanks Fizzy. I forgot about Max's father, so as I said, I don't know many. As Napla, interestingly, has decided to retire from the session. As now we're waiting for Sevap Cici's car to retire in the pits, but yeah, what a qualifying we saw. Alfonso Gomez pole position with 17 and 8, followed by Sevap Cici's 18.1 and Amadi's 18.3. And of course we can forget X Games NL's 18.1 because he might be able to jump both of these drivers in the start because of the softest tire. So vamos Alfonso, yeah. He did not expect that, but yeah. So great for today's race is going to be Alfonso in P1, Sevap Cici in P2, X Games NL in P3, Amadi in P4, James Killer P5, Hartza in P6, Fissi in P7, Bodie in P8, Felix Negua in P9, Similarik in P10, Toxic Tomato P11 after that 5-place quit penalty, Napla P12, J. Luke P13, Hamster P14, PM P and Cats P15, and without times are Eduk, Vikmil and Sapelele. As I'm gonna quickly take I'm gonna save a video clip because I'm gonna make a race highlights out of this like I usually do for my league, because I care about my league. And it's something I love to do, the race highlights for people who have missed the incredible 90-minute stream and are too lazy to watch it again. So I'll just make a 3-4 minute stream for the viewers. So yeah, but yeah, we have gonna have an interesting Grand Prix ahead of us. Every race we've had over 16 and 17 drivers, so that's a very positive thing for a new league like EFL. We have new comments saying Alfonso is very happy and Machine Physics up, he has to start on hards. Well, you never know, if the safety car comes on lap 15 or lap 16 or lap 17, you might be very lucky, because we know how frequently the safety car comes. Well, in the races. Now we're just gonna wait for these athletes, these ancient drivers, these beautiful daredevils, long-haired, curly-haired, golden-haired drivers to go to their cars and take the pads or go to the wheels of Trustmaster, Logitech or Fanatec and stare at the TV, and they're gonna imagine they're racing drivers, but they are racing drivers. And Alfonso Wedding, be careful at the start and have fun, as I'm gonna go to the grid while these drivers are in the formation lap. So in pole position we have a Spanish local hero, Alfonso Gomez. P2, German driver, Seva Ptici. P3 goes to X Games NL, first Dutch driver ever to be in the top 3 in EFL. P4 goes to the Scottish driver Ahmadi. P5 to James Killer. Both McLaren drivers, P6 and P7, in the order of Harta and Fishy. P8 and P9 are Body Dweller and Felix Negua. P10 and P11 are Ferrari, Semi-Larrican and Racing Point's Toxic Tomato after that 5 place quit penalty. P12 and P13, Napla 185 with his Williams and J. Luke in his Red Bull. P14 and P15, Hamtaro in his Toro Rosso and P15 Red Bull driver of PMP Tron Cats. P16 goes to the newest Ferrari driver Eduk 33 who got promoted from Williams to Ferrari. And P17 and P18 are drivers who did not set a lap in qualifying, Wickmill and VRT Sape, as we have a one Red Bull who spun in the session, and I believe that's either, yeah, that's PMP Tron Cats. But now we have Felix Body Dweller who is already crashed out from formation lap, and yeah, he's the only one actually who's crashed out from formation lap if I'm being correct. Yeah, he's the only one. So I don't know how he was able to do that, but but yeah, now we're waiting for these drivers to go to the starting positions and start the race. You can guess your top 3 right now. Who's gonna finish top 3? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna be second? Who's gonna be in the 3rd place in this Grand Prix? As Michael Buffer has said it once. Let's get ready to rumble! Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines! Or hybrid vacuum cleaners, as we have. Because it's time for EFL Season 1 Round 5! As we have Alfonso, Seva Ptici, X Games NL, Amadi, James Killer, Hatsa, Fishy, Body Dweller, Felix Negua, Semi-Larrican, Toxic Tomato, Napla 185, J-Luke, Hamtaro, PMP Tron Cats, Eduk, Wickmill, VRT Sape, going to the grids. As Wickmill 11 has disconnected from the session. Wickmill 11, I repeat, has disconnected from the session, so that's very unfortunate for his race. He needs to come quickly back so he won't lose much time. As now we're gonna wait for the FIA to give the signal for the green lights. As I wanna see from the better camera angle. Codemasters, why aren't you giving me a better camera angle? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the Grand Prix. And it looks like Alfonso got a fantastic start, and there's already Ferrari, Haas and Toro drivers in the wall as Hamilton got a 5-second penalty, severe collision with Napla 185. And this lobby is lagging so much, but it looks like Seva Ptici got the lead of the Grand Prix, and there's a VSC in the track. VSC has come out, and that's probably because of Hamtaro, Napla, Eduk and those drivers crashing out, and Wickmill 11 is getting overtaken everywhere, so I have no idea what on earth is going on in this session, but everybody's lagging so much. I don't know what on earth is going on in this Grand Prix, as Body Dweller has been disqualified from the session for parking in dangerous place. And I don't know what on earth is happening. Many drivers writing that the lobby is disconnected. I don't know, at least everything's fine for me, but I guess it's lights out and away we go once again, and I hope that this glitch will end very shortly, because yeah, Codemasters, always when they make updates, it's always going to be something like this. I do hope that people are not lagging for each other. There are few people ghosting. Seva Ptici has left from the session, so I don't know what on earth is happening there. I'm trying to read some messages because I have no idea what's been happening. People are getting randomly disconnected from the sessions. Is my PSN actually working? And there's yellow in sector 3, and X Games NL has retired from the session as he's in the wall, and there's yellows in sector 3, and we have already PMP Tron Cats and Semi-Larry competing, but Alfonso's leading from Ahmadi and from Hatsa, so So that's your current top 3 in this race. As X Games and Ella has also left from the session, so Sevapcici is getting overtaken everywhere, and Sevapcici has rejoined back to the session, so it was only a glitch. I was afraid that we have to restart this race, as Bodidrello has left also from the session. But yeah, what a go. Okay, now we can start commentating this race, as Kevin, aka Sevapcici, disconnects once again from the from this session, and Alfonso Gomez already has over 1.5 second lead, as I'm gonna put all the track data available for the viewers. And we have new comment coming from somebody that people need to buy some goddamn internet. Well, I think it's a Codemasters thing. I don't know, maybe Codemasters are doing something, as we have Eduk in the wall, and there's VSC who wants come out once again in this race, lap 2, and we already have a second VSC come out in this Grand Prix. So it's very, very, very odd that the VSC has come out once again. As actually we could see nobody's pitting. Actually, you could actually maybe pit for the hard tires, but it's maybe way too early to do that. But and it's lights out and we go once again, as Alfonso says the fastest lap on 127 point flat. As we have Hatsa who's pitting, probably to change his front wing or something. So we'll see what is happening. Yeah, and he's changing his front wing, and we have also Eduk 33 who is pitting. So those two drivers have lost their front wings, as we have so many disconnections at the moment. And VRT Sape has moved himself to P8 position. He's just behind of J Luke 11 who is in P7. Toxic Tomato who is in P5, beautiful comeback from him from P11, and he's trying to challenge the Toro Rosso on the inside of Felix Negua. They're going side by side in the corners 5, but it looks like Felix Negua has kept his position in P5. And now we have Nappula 185 who's overtaken Eduk for position for P14. As Alfonso Gomez already has over 2.7 second lead over the closest rival of Armadi. As Toxic Tomato is very close to Felix Negua, and he got past off Felix, and he moved himself to P4. As I'm trying to say, okay, some people close to PS4 and come back. So it's I don't know what's been happening with these servers, because I got few messages from the people that the servers are down, but I hope it's not gonna happen in this race. 122.7 by Alfonso Gomez, so he. But VRT Safe has made a fastest lap of 122.4, and there's yellows in sector 3, so somebody has spun or retired. And it's probably J-Luke 11 who is in the sand, and that moved Sevapcici to P8 position. And J-Luke is losing places to Wickmill and Sevapcici, so he's now in P10 position. P11 is Hart, P12 PM, P12 Cats, P13 is Semilaric, and P14 Napla 185, Eduk in P15 and Hamter in P16. As Semilaric says the fastest lap in this Grand Prix, as Alfonso is already having over 3 second lead over Armadi, but now Toxic Tomato is wide behind of James Killer, so we'll see how quickly he can get past of the Mercedes driver in P3. And he's basically pushing him towards the corner 9. And we'll see, are we going to see a dive bomb to corner 10? And yes, we are. I want to see this from the better camera angle. Codemasters, can you please give me a better camera angle for this fight? There we go. As they're going side by side, James Killer and Toxic Tomato, they're a little bit wheel banging. Oh, but is Toxic Tomato going to make a switch back round the inside of corner 10? Yes, he is, and he forces James Killer a little bit wide, but it's okay because it's racing, and now he's going to actually lose a position to VRT Sape, who moves himself to P5 and also to TSR Fizzy, so he lost over 3 to 4 positions in that one maneuver, as Felix Negua has overtaken Toxic Tomato for P3 position, as Toxic Tomato tries to avenge that and maybe overtake the Torosso driver once again in this Grand Prix, as we have 2 Torosso drivers of Toxic and VRT Sape already behind each other with the hard tires. And TSR Fizzy, who there's a massive fight going on, as Hartza is going side by side with J-Luke 11 before corner 1, and he makes the maneuver stick for P9 position. And if you're just tuning in, do not adjust your TV sets. This is EFL F1 and we are lap 5 out of 33. We still have 28 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. And currently Eduk made the fastest lap of 121.4, so a very impressive lap from Eduk, who is currently challenging Napula for P14. And Hamzo, who is P16. But there's a lot of safety cars coming, so it can change everything in this Grand Prix. You never know what's gonna happen. as there's a big trend behind of Felix, and he's gonna get dive bombed by Toxic Tomato. He basically lets him go, and that's a P3 position for Welsh driver, and now he's gonna go for the hunt for Alfonso Gomez. And we'll see how quickly VRT Sape can get past of Felix in tow also, but he's also followed by TSR Fishy. As VRT Sape is pitting. What on earth is happening? VRT Sape is pitting, so did he lose a front wing or something? We have to see. I don't know what's happening to VRT Sape. Why is he pitting? And he's chasing his front wing, so he's gonna drop massive position. So he lost the front wing, and that's his race over if the safety car won't come in this race. As now TSR Fishy is only 1.4 seconds behind of Felix, and James Killer is in the same battle. Sevapcic is in P7 and he's rejoined back to the session. Very good to see. And Hatsa is getting past of J Luke 11, and these guys are having great fights. And there's Yellows in Sector 1, and I believe that's Semi-American, and that's PMP trying cats who have crashed with each other. And 5-second penalty for PMP for crashing out Semi-American, but we have to see what the stewards are going to think about that. But nobody's retiring, so it's all good. As Wickmill is getting overtaken by VRT Sape, as he's not able to rejoin back to the session. As only fight what is going on at the moment is for P8 between Hartza and J-Luke 11, and Hartza is switching a little bit the lines, but that's not going to stop J-Luke 11, who's going to get P8. But these drivers are going to go side by side in corner 11 and corner 10, and it looks like Hartza overtook J-Luke 11 for P8 position. Very incredible battle to see. And also, I don't believe James Killer can get past of TSR Fishy just yet, so we'll keep following J-Luke 11 and Hartza's fight. And basically only battle what is going on in the track at the moment for points. As J-Luke 11 is going to open his DRS. And we'll see he's going to get past the McLaren driver for Hartza, and yes he is. Beautiful overtake by J-Luke 11, who moves himself to P8 position. And we'll see, can Hartza capitalize that? Can he re-overtake J-Luke? And no, he can't. No, he can't. As PMP Trying Cats is pitting. And is he changing his front wing or something? And he's serving that 5-second stop and go, and he's going to change his front wing. And Apple 185 has just overtaken Wickmill's AI and is currently in P12 position. And James Killer is getting past of TSR Fishy, but they're going side by side with each other. James Killer and TSR Fishy, who has the bigger cojones? Who's gonna give in? And it looks like James Killer got the maneuver down for P5, so he moves his Mercedes to P5 position. As he should, because his teammate is leading the race, so he needs to be as close to his teammate as possible to think about the Constructors' Championship, because Williams is leading that. But TSR Fishy is going to get the DRS in slipstream for this straight line. So we'll see what is the straight line speed of TSR Fishy. As they're a little bit banging wheels with each other, and a very aggressive cut from TSR Fishy, but he got the maneuver done. It's okay. He got it for P5. As we are currently lap 8 of lap 32, so we're going to see very soon that people will be doing the pit stop, as VRT Sape is setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, which is a 121.3, so he's over once again faster than P1 guy at the moment, but he had to make a pit stop to change his front wing. As James Kill and TSR Fishy are still continuing the battles. Amadi is only 1.8 seconds behind of Alfonso Gomez, so has Alfonso made some kind of mistake? Because has he lost? No, he's making consistent lap times, but I don't know what's not happening, because it's only 1.8 seconds between Amadi and Alfonso Gomez, so we might see a battle for the win here today. So that's very great to see, as James Killer is re-overtaking TSR Fishy, and he got the maneuver done, and he moves himself back to P5 position. But they're over 3.9 seconds behind of P4 of Felix. And Semi-American has overtaken Wickmill's AI. As Toxic Tomatoes is the fastest lap of 121.2, so very impressive lap from the Racing Point driver. As we have yellows in Sector 2, and Semi-American has crashed out. And I don't know what's happening to his race. And PAP Track Cats has left from the session. And there's yellows in Sector 2. Sviatisep got a 5-second penalty for multiple warnings. Semilarkin has left from the session. He's not even retired, so he's just decided to leave from the session. And James Killer and Tiasafisi are still battling out, and so is J-Luke and Hartza. But I want to see what battle is more interesting, and they go side by side still, and James Killer keeps the position. What is happening with J-Luke and Hartza? And at the moment there's nothing happening. They have to wait for the new straight line, but Kevin is catching, Tevapcici is catching so much to Fissi and James Killer, so he's gonna join to this party, and maybe he's gonna do, and I'm quoting Lance from IRL F2, so he might be doing 2-for-1 deal. So don't copyright me for saying that, but it's a very good slogan, 2-for-1 deal. Hello Lance if you're watching the stream. As we have a new comment coming on, I can read it a little bit now, and Viva Eduk, so we have Eduk fans here in the comments. Eduk, who had a qualifying ban here today and crashed out in lap 1, but he's now in P11. Of course, safety car might come and change everything in the race. So, and now we can see Tiasafisi and James Killer are still switching positions with each other, and James Killer is not even fighting that, and Tiasafisi got past him. As now Hamza has got past the Wickmills AI. Sviatisep said at the fastest lap of 1:20 and 7. And we still haven't seen pit stops made by any of the drivers in the top 9. So that's very, very interesting indeed. As I'm gonna see what's gonna happen in this battle. And J-Luke 11 and Hart are going very strongly with each other. As Alfonso's lead over Armady is now 2 seconds. As I'm gonna see, do I have any new messages or not? As we have a new comment here today and saying, Edu, yeah, hi Edu, hi man, nice to meet you. I mean, nice that you're waiting for me, watching the stream. And Tevapcici is only 3 tenths behind this, and again McLaren and Mercedes are going side by side with each other. This yellow is sector 3, so something's been happening between some of the drivers. Once again yellow sector 3, and that's Toxic Tomato probably, has he been it? Toxic Tomato, where is he? And he's pitting, so he's made a mistake, and he's lost many positions because of that. Probably lost his front wing, and now he's retiring in the pit, so that's his qualifying over. And now there's a massive fight between McLaren and Mercedes. As Tevapcici is joining to this battle, he's probably waiting for these drivers to battle it up somehow, but we have to see what's going to happen. As Mercedes with James Killer is running very wide, and Tevapcici tries to capitalize that, and that Williams driver is dive bombing for P4 position, and he did it beautifully, so that's P5 for Tevapcici. And now he's trying to challenge P4 of McLaren, and he's trying to overtake round the outside, but he wasn't capable of doing it. And now he can breathe a little bit and try to overtake Fissi for P4 position, but Tevapcici's pace after disconnecting and coming back, it's been very superb, and he still has a chance for the podium, so you never can count out the young German driver. And he does a switch back, or he switches the lines and overtakes Fissi very easily for P4 position, but Fissi is fighting back, and he has a little bit corner car track extend, but Tevapcici got the maneuver done, and now he has to hope that he will get away from this train. It's crucial for his race. So under running that he's finished with his standings. Good job, man. Now you can watch the race. We already had 4 retirements and 2 drivers leaving from the session because of connection issues in the beginning, but now it's a little bit stabilized, and now Tiasafisi is opening his DRS and trying to re-overtake Tevapcici, but Tevapcici is defending the inside line, but he wasn't able to overtake him, and now I believe that Tevapcici will be able to pull away from these drivers, and he's pushing so much from the car that he will be able to do that. And there's yellows in sector 1, and that's, I believe, James Killer, who's retired from the session. So what's happened to James Killer? I want to see what on earth happened to James Killer, and he's, ooh, how did he retire there? And if that's not a safety car, I don't know what is, because he retired in the middle of the track, and if that's not going to bring out a safety car, I'm really shocked. I'm going to be really, really shocked. And there's still yellows in sector 1, yellows in sector 1 and sector 2. Are we going to see a safety car? It would bring a lot of spice to this race. And it doesn't, and Tevapcici is still pressurized by Fissi, and he's trying to overtake him around the outside, but Tevapcici is defending the inside line very bravely, and he's forcing it a little bit wide. They're going side by side with each other, and he forcing a little bit him wide. He forced Fishy a little bit wide, and Fishy got a 3-second time penalty for that. And James Giller has left from the session, but surprisingly no safety car. I'm very shocked about that. And that moves Nappula to P10 position and Hamter to P11. Fishy has more EOS than Cevap Cici, so Cevap will have to save his EOS at some point. As Fishy is forcing his way through the field. He's trying to sort of Kevin, I'm here, I'm fighting. And Kevin is almost out of EOS, so I'm just gonna call him Kevin because I know his first name. And he's showing up himself, and Hartza and J-Luke are also fighting with each other, so they're going side by side with each other. And then McLaren's over, he got the best of it, and that's a crash between Hartza and J-Luke. And I don't know who's at fault there. Did Hartza just lose his car, or did J-Luke push him a little bit? But there's yellows in sector 1, but nothing crucial, and he will have to make a pit stop because of that. And that will give a good opportunity for Nappula and Hamter to capitalize on the Finnish driver's mistake. As I can't understand how Kevin has used all of his EOS. I know he's a fast driver, but he usually doesn't make that kind of mistake that he uses all of his EOS. And we have Ahmedi who's pitting, so we'll see what position he's gonna rejoin after the pit stop. And he's pitting, and he's putting the hot tires on, and we'll see he's gonna rejoin back in top 6 or not. He's gonna rejoin ahead of VRT Shape or just behind him. Here goes Cevap Cici for P3, and here goes the TSR Fishy, and it's gonna be neck and neck with VRT Shape. Actually it's not, and he's just gonna rejoin ahead of VRT Shape, who probably is gonna make one more pit stop in this race. But now Alfonso has to react towards Ahmedi because it was less than 2 seconds. He has to react for the pit stop, and he has to pit. He has to make a pit stop, as we have a Hartza who's now pitting and changing his front wing probably. I don't want to see what tires he's gonna take because he's already with the hard tires, so he's gonna try to make it to the end with the mediums. And they're not changing his front wing for some reason, and that's his race over basically. And gap between, I'm gonna see gap between Ahmedi, and it's 21 seconds, so it's still possible that with a bad pit stop Ahmedi might get ahead of Alfonso Gomez, but he's reacting, of course he's reacting towards this, and we'll see, is he going to be able to nail the breaking point? Yes he is. So that means Felix Negua and Cevap Cici, also known as Kevin, are going to take the lead in the Grand Prix, so Germans will have a 1-2 lead for a little while, and we'll see where he's going to rejoin. Alfonso Gomez is going to rejoin ahead of Ahmedi or not. It's very interesting for this fight for the win. And here goes Cevap Cici and TSR Fishy. And where is Ahmedi? It's going to be neck and neck between them. And it looks like Ahmedi might get ahead of Alfonso Gomez. And yes, he does! We have a fight here for the win. Ahmedi got past of Alfonso Gomez. So beautiful undercut by the Renault driver of Ahmedi. Beautiful undercut. So he's provisionally leading this Grand Prix, and Alfonso must be fuming because of that, and so the whole nation of Spain is very fuming because of that. And we have McLaren in the wall. We have a TSR Fishy who's made a mistake. He's in the sand, and he's gonna lose massively because of that. As Alfonso Gomez is pressurizing towards Ahmedi. We'll see how quickly he can get past of the Renault driver, but we don't know. Ahmedi has shown up to potential pace in this Grand Prix, as we still have Cevap Cici, who's 4 seconds behind of Felix, followed by Ahmedi and Alfonso Gomez. So probably Cevap Cici, who started with the medium tires, has to make a pit stop shortly, and he's still continuing in the track, so he's probably hoping that the VSC or safety car would come out and then he will pit, which is a very smart maneuver actually, because you have nothing to lose. VSC, who's not done a pit stop, he has made a mistake. As now Alfonso Gomez is only 4 tenths behind of Amadi, and is Amadi gonna defend the inside line? No, he's not, but Alfonso Gomez hasn't got past him yet, so this is the fight we want to see. This is the fight for the win. This is the fight for the crown jewel of Formula 1, for the race victory. Like Ayrton Senna said once, when you once get to the P1, it's like a drug. You get addicted. You want to get more and more and more and more. And that's what these drivers are doing here today. It's the fight between Mercedes and between Renault, between Amadi, between Alfonso Gomez, between Scottish against Spain. And we know whose side Spain is today. It's like... And we have yellow to sector 2 once again, and it's Fizzy who's gone wide once again, and he's lost the position to VRT shape. And surprisingly, no safety cars here today in this Grand Prix. Very surprising. As Amadi is still keeping his position, Alfonso is not able to overtake him, but he's probably focusing on that one position only, as Fizzy got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And we have yellow to sector 2 once again, and I believe, is it Fizzy? And yes, he is. If you're gonna retire, just bring out a safety car. If you're just gonna retire, please don't do it in the pits. Hit yourself in the wall. We're gonna see a safety car. I wanna see an exciting race. I don't care if it's grass-gate, but if you're hearing me, just bend it to the wall. If I'm just talking, but if you feel like you don't want to race, then you can do it. But anyways, it's a fight for the win between Amadi and Alfonso Gomez. Alfonso's going to the inside line as PMP got a 5-second penalty. Yellow to sector 3, and Alfonso Gomez got past him. Alfonso Gomez has got past of the Renault driver, and this yellow to sector 3 as Fizzy has retired, and that brought out the VSC, and that's Fizzy who's retired. That's a VSC actually. Where is Sebaptiti and Felix Negua? They're still so far away as Eduk is pitting, and he's capitalizing because of that. Very good capitalizement from Eduk. But it wasn't a safety car, and so is Napla pitting. Napla is also pitting. And Edu Cruz changed his front wing. We'll see when Napla is going to rejoin, and we have a new comment saying... thanks, I was actually joking, but still, yeah, yeah. That was a joke, you know, but still, yeah. You know me, I joke a lot. And still the VSC is out, and now DRS is enabled, so it's lights out, and away we go for this Grand Prix as Hamster is pitting also. Napla has rejoined ahead of Eduk actually, and that's a P8 for him as TSR Fizzy has left from the session. As Felix is still out, and so is Sebaptiti. And is Seba gonna make a pit stop or not? He's still staying out. The guy is still staying out. And Alfonso and Amadi is catching them, but Amadi is going to use this DRS, he's using the slipstream, he's going to dive up the inside, no he's not, and we have a new comment here today, but Napla got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Fizzy Wedding, yeah, was going to retire anyway, so I tried. Yeah, I'm not going to punish you for that in my league. I am like... And I'm like an American show owner that, yeah... I want entertainment, baby, I want entertainment. Alfonso Gomez is only 1.6 seconds behind of Sebaptiti, and there's still 2 drivers in this race from the top 10 who have not done a pit stop, and that is the current P1 and P2 of Felix and Kevin, as Hatsa got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And we'll see when these drivers are going to pit. We know Felix might pit now or might pit a little bit later, but Kevin is losing so much time now because of he tries to stay out and tries to wait until the VSC or safety car, but you have nothing to lose, man. You have nothing to lose. Just stay out if you feel like it. As Felix is going to pit, he's going to pit before Sebaptiti, and mediums are going to do longer than hards, so I guess Kevin is leading the race at the moment, and we'll see where Felix is going to rejoin. As VRT Sepp got the fastest lap of 1:20 and 6. But we don't know, does VRT Sepp gonna make one more pit stop as Alfonso Gomez got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We'll see where Felix rejoins, and he rejoins back in P5. He's gonna join the miles ahead of J-Luke 11, so he'll have a very, very calm race. And Amadi is really pressurizing Alfonso Gomez for the P1 position after Kevin pits. They're gonna be P2, P1 and P2, but I'm surprised that Amadi's pace is very strong, as Eduk says the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but he is in ninth place, and Alfonso almost lost the car. Amadi is looking down the inside, outside, whatever you want to call it, and he's trying to overtake on the outside, but Alfonso Gomez blocks that way, and now Amadi has to wait for better opportunity, but they're not catching Kevin actually, even though Kevin has 14 lap older tires than them. They're not catching him. As we have 14 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. 14 laps, so you can write your comments who's going to win this race. Is it going to be Alfonso Gomez or is it going to be Amadi? As now Amadi, he's not going to get DRS from Baptiste, and now Amadi, he's not overtaking, he's looking for a good opportunity, but he is not overtaking him, so he waits Alfonso to make a mistake. He's not going to force the overtake, he's going to wait till the end of the race, which is very smart, and he might maybe try some tricky maneuvers in some corners. He's showing his car, he's trying to make Alfonso Gomez to battle it a little bit, but it's not so easy. Alfonso Gomez, who is a championship leader in EFL, he's only 1.1 seconds behind of Kevin, and Kevin will have to make a pit stop shortly as Felix Negua gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and he got it once again 2 times. So that's 6 seconds in only 2 seconds. As now Alfonso Gomez is 1 second behind of Baptiste, but Amadi is trying to overtake around the outside. They go side by side with each other, neck and neck, mano a mano, and that's Alfonso Gomez who kept the position and is in P2. Now 1.3 seconds, so they lost a little bit ground to Kevin, as Kevin is still staying out. He is not he's not pitting. You have to pit in this race, you remember. And now Amadi is 4 seconds behind, and Sape is pitting. Sape is gonna go to the pits, and he's gonna change the tires, so he couldn't make the work to the end, and Amadi is gonna dive up the inside, and he moves to P2 position, or provisional P1 position when Kevin pits. They're gonna be P1 and P2. As VRT Sape, we'll see where he's gonna rejoin, and he's changing his front wing once again, and that moves Felix Negua to P4 position. No idea what is Kevin doing at the moment. Is he waiting for safety car VSC, or what is he doing? Or is he waiting for these drivers to crash? Some experts say, why is Kevin doing 20 laps with medium tires in the front? Is he actually waiting for safety car VSC or something? As J-Luke is pitting, and that's gonna promote a lot of drivers to multiple positions, and Apple is already in P6 position, which is very impressive, as PMP John Katz got a 3-second time penalty. As now Alfonso Gomez is running a little bit wide, and he wasn't able to overtake Amadi. Amadi is only 1 second behind of Baptiste, and now I believe that he will get past of the yellow sector 3, and is that Kevin with a puncture? And Kevin has a puncture. Kevin has a puncture. Did he have a puncture or not? But that's gonna promote Amadi and Alfonso for P1 and P2, and we're gonna see where does Baptiste gonna rejoin. We have had a lot of action and drama in EFL, and that's what it's been. That's what it's been every single race, from Australia to Bahrain to China to Azerbaijan to the Spanish Grand Prix. Every race has been very, very hectic, and Baptiste is going to return back in P4 position, and only 7 seconds behind of his German companion Felix Negua. And first time in EFL, 3 German drivers and 3 Finnish drivers are 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So we have 4 Finnish drivers and 3 German drivers in the top 10, like in the older days of Formula 1. When we had Mika Salo, JJ Lehto, Mika Häkkinen, same time driving. That was probably the last time we saw 3 Finnish drivers finishing in the top 10. Mika Salo, Mika Häkkinen, JJ Lehto. JJ who drove for Benetton, Mika Salo who drove for Ferrari, and Mika Häkkinen drove for McLaren. A little while, and bouncy bounce by Baptiste's car, and he's gonna get challenged by VRT Sape, but he has fresher tires and soft tires than VRT Sape, so it won't be that easy, but he's already catching Felix Negua for P3 position, as Alfonso Gomez is very close to Amadi, and they're switching positions like tomato is switching a potato. I don't know what I'm saying, but they're going side by side, neck and neck with each other, and Alfonso Gomez is getting past of Amadi. As we have somebody's friend joining to the session. If you want to watch it, just watch it. It's not going to bother me, as Viati Seip is setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's only 1.6 seconds behind of Cevap Cici. And I'm very surprised because Cevap Cici is with a soft tires and he's not been able to set the fastest lap. Or then he came out of the pits and now he's going to make the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. If you have any comments, ask me about the league, about life in overall or something. Ask me anything. It's your chance to get to the TV, as we have Amedy and Alfonso spelling it out, and then probably in the end it's gonna be Cevap Cici and Felix Negua for P3 position. As I have to say, very smart driving and clean driving by Amedy and Alfonso Gomez, as Viati Seip got a 3-second penalty. And yellows in sector 3, so what has happened? Once again, yellows in sector 3, I try to find what has been happening, and that's American. As Amedy is, Alfonso's trying to overtake Amedy on the inside, and yes, he got past him, and that's maneuver done on. As Cevap Cici said, the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and I believe that's 1:19.2, so that's a new lap record in EFL in the way, so congratulations, you have a new lap record. But still, we have a fight for the win between Alfonso and Amedy. 9 laps remaining in this race. Who is gonna win? Who's gonna have bigger cojones after this race? Because we have one driver who's gonna get a win and go to the bed with a boner, and one driver who's gonna go with pussy flavored kisses, if I said it correctly. But and now Napla is getting pressurized by Eduk, so it's a battle between the 3 Finns, between Napla, Eduk and Hartza for P6 position, and Eduk with the fresher tires is gonna die, or actually same age tires. He's pressurizing Napla, but Napla is not gonna give in. But we also have a fight for the win, but Eduk is really aggressive and he's gonna dive up the inside. No, he's not, and I wanna see what's happening between Amedy and Alfonso Gomez, because they're coming towards the finish line. As Amedy, it's a tactical game, it's like a game of chess. You're one step, you have to think one step ahead of you what they're gonna do, and Amedy is not gonna get past of Alfonso Gomez. He's leaving a little bit, I don't know why, but now we're gonna go back to Eduk versus Napla versus Hartz battle for the P6 position. As Viati Seip is keeping up still with Kevin. As Kevin is 4.6 seconds behind of Felix Negua. Can Felix take his first podium in EFL in his first race of EFL? Would be very impressive as only reserve driver. Would be very impressive indeed. As what's happening between Napla and Eduk is gonna open his DRS, and he's gonna get past of Napla. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's ready. He's biding his opportunity and waiting. And Napla, of these drivers, he has the most of VOS. He has 70%. Eduk has 36%, and Hartza has 35%. And now we're gonna again wait for Alfonso and Amedy, and there's yellows in sector 1. Something has happened. I would really want to see a safety car in this Grand Prix, but we only have seen 2 VSCs in the beginning. As now Amedy is opening his DRS, set at the 1:21.7, but we're gonna see Eduk got a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, and there's yellows in sector 2, and they go side by side with each other, but somebody has to give up this position, and it is Amedy who has to give up, as Eduk is trying to get past of Napla, but it's not so easy to overtake in Spain. It's actually very, very hard, as we have 7 laps remaining. 7 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. I want to see what's gonna happen in this battle still. But yeah, write to the comments something, and yeah, you might get to the television. I will ask questions and stuff like that. Because currently nothing is happening. Yeah. As Eduk is overtaking Napla for P6 position. I'm sorry, I completely missed that, but is Napla gonna come back? No, he's not, and he's lost the position to Eduk, leaving a little bit his car in a furious state of mind. But yeah. So Amadi is gonna open once again his DRS, and all the overtakes what we've seen between P1 and P2 is been happening in corner 1. As Alfonso's defending the inside line, they're going side by side with each other. They realize it's the battle for the win, battle of the ages. They're going still side by side with each other. They're banging wheels, but nobody's spinning. Beautiful fight between these two drivers. Tough but fair, Like, I like it. As Titi is only 3.5 seconds behind of Felix Negua, and there's yellows in sector 2. So something's been happening, and it's PMP trying to catch and probably semi-Larrican. So stewards will have a busy evening here today. Yellow sector 2, is that going to bring out a safety car? No, it's not. I don't think that safety car is going to come out anymore in this Grand Prix. Yellow sector 2, a hard side spinning, probably is going to retire from the session or not. Or then he's going to take a fast set of tires. And it's a Red Bull driver of PMP trying to catch who's making mistakes, and that's going to promote Rick Mill to P11. But still, Alfonso and Amadi, it's a good fight. 6 laps remaining in the race. Yeah. Is my voice even hearing? Can people hear my voice? Is nobody actually watching it? Okay, they're going side by side, because I can hear my voice in the stream. So, can I actually hear my voice? And I have very slow internet for some reason. Oh, that's weird. One moment, I need to check this out. Did my mic really die? Testing. Yeah, I can hear it's probably on my laptop then, because I think people would have written if somebody would have happened. So somebody, can you hear my voice? I need to go and test it out. And there's once again a fight between Alfonso and Amadi. I need to test it out with my phone, because in laptop I can hear my voice for some reason, as Kevin is only 2.9 seconds behind of Felix Negua. Why is my internet so... Okay, that's weird, because Alfonso Gomez made a big mistake, and what was that? And I'm not sure what happened between Alfonso and Amadi. Alfonso just swiped towards Amadi, and I believe Amadi has lost his front wing. So what was that? From Alfonso Gomez, I have no idea. I'd love to give some kind of answer, but probably Alfonso Gomez lost his car, and that forced Amadi a little bit wide, but it's gonna make sure that Alfonso Gomez has won the Grand Prix, because Amadi has front wing damage right now. And okay, now I can hear my voice in the laptop, but after this race, stick around, we're gonna have podium maneuvers and national anthems, and there's yellows in sector 2. Somebody has spun it, and it's PMP Tri-Cats once again who spun it, but Amadi is 4 seconds behind, and he's losing a lot of time now. But I don't know, do these both drivers have some kind of damage or not? As Edu is in P5, Napla is in P6, and VLT Sape is in P7 position. As Alfonso is not pitting, yellows in sector 2 once again. As, okay, massive yellow flags in sector 2, as Napla got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But yeah, stick for the interviews after this race. I don't know what to say about this Grand Prix. Felix Negua is still yellows in sector 2 and sector 3. So what on earth is happening? Is it some kind of glitch that there's yellow flags all the time? But Kevin is not catching anymore towards Felix Negua, so it looks like Felix might get the first podium in EFL, and it's going to be a silver spoon, golden pineapple for Tevap Titi. As I'd love to see what of these drivers think about the Oh my god, and we have three-way fight between Nappula, Viatisep and Eduk as Viatisep got passed off Nappula 185 and demotes him for P7 position. As Viatisep is gonna make an easy work out of Eduk 33, I believe. And I believe he's gonna overtake him after corner 9, just before corner 10. And Nappula needs to capitalize that and maybe attack and catch him once again. As Eduk was a little bit wide, maybe realizing that there's a driver who has 1 lap fresh softs against your 13 lap old mediums, as Eduk did a bouncy roll, and Viatisep is diving up the inside and easy overtake on the Finnish driver of Eduk, demoting a Ferrari driver to P6 position, as Amadi is only 3.7 seconds behind of Alfonso Gomez, so will be very interesting to see who in the end is going to win the Grand Prix. As Tsevapcic is only 2.3 seconds behind of Felix Negua, as Hatsa got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And yeah, stick around for the podium interviews for national anthems. We're going to ask these drivers multiple questions. So yeah. 2 laps remaining in this Grand Prix, and the yellows is sector 3. And that is PMP trying catch once again, so he led the championship actually after Australia, so now his form after Australia, it's not been the best, but there's still many races remaining in the season, so you never know what's gonna happen. It's not over until the fat lady sings. As Kevin is only 1.9 seconds behind of Felix Negua, who has 12 lap old medium, so it's gonna be a two-way battle for P3 position. Two-way battle for P3 position between Tsevapcic, aka Kevin, and Felix Negua. And now Amadi is only 3.3 seconds behind of Alfonso Gomez. So, but it's not enough, and Kevin is only 1.6 seconds behind of Felix. So are we gonna see a tow also in a podium, or are we gonna see Williams driver in a podium? Stick around to find out. But yeah, now the racing has a little bit stopped, as Viatisep set the fastest lap of 1:18.9, so we saw a 1:18 lap. That's almost a qualifying lap in a race, so very impressive lap from Viatisep. And yellows is sector 1, 3-second penalty for Viatisep. And I know PMP Tron Cats has lost his phone ring once again, so not the race to remember for PMP Tron Cats. Amadi is 3.9 seconds behind now of Alfonso Gomez. Alfonso is about to start the final lap in this Grand Prix. But I know Kevin is only 1.2 seconds behind of Felix Negua. But I want to see what's going to happen in this battle. If the battle is going to come on or not. But we don't know about the penalties. Who has the penalties and who doesn't have the penalties. So it might be that Amadi might win, or it might be Alfonso Gomez, or it might, yeah, be one of those two drivers. As Alfonso Gomez looks like ahead of his hometown, home city, home country, ahead of millions and millions and millions of Spanish fans. He's about to win his 3rd race in EFL and just increase his championship lead over Toxic Tomato and Napla 185. But we don't know yet what's gonna happen. We have to see it in the finish line, but we'll probably see a very happy chappy from Alfonso if he wins the Grand Prix ahead of his home track, home people, home country. No driver in EFL has ever won a home race before, but Alfonso Gomez is showing that everything is possible. Everything is really possible if you believe in it. And Alfonso Gomez is coming towards the corners 13. Now he's towards the chicanes of corner 14 and 15. And he's gonna do corner 16. And since Fernando Alonso, we have a new Spanish winner in Spain. And that's Alfonso Gomez, who has won the Grand Prix. Or has he won? Yes, he is. Only 1.3 seconds ahead of Amadi. So he had a penalty. But Alfonso Gomez has won the race from Amadi and Felix Negua. And Tsevapcic finishes in P4. Viatisep is gonna finish in P5. Eduk is gonna finish in P6. probably we don't know about the penalties. Napla got another time penalty, so oh, what an incredible race we've had here today, and stick around for the podium interviews. We're gonna get all of these drivers to the podium interviews. We're gonna wait people to finish the race, and as VRTC finishes in P5, Eduk finishes in P5, VRTC finishes in P6, Napla finishes in P7, J-Luke is gonna finish in P8, Hartza is gonna finish in P9, and those are the only drivers we are currently waiting for. As PNP Trunkats is gonna finish in lonely P13, and Napla has left from the session, so he's very furious about his result. And PNP Trunkats, if you're listening, please, I'm in a big hurry to Russia, so that's why we made this race earlier than we used to. So just please drive to the finish line, because I'm in a big hurry to get my grandmother from Russia. So please don't do that. Don't do that. I'm actually in a big hurry. I told you all before the race, don't mess around. Just drive to the finish. I will give a massive penalty for that for PNP Trunkats for actually wasting my time, because I told him that I'm in a big hurry. So please just retire the car and don't mess around. I understand, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry, I shouldn't lose my temper, but really it's like, I tell that, okay, thank you. I'm sorry that I yelled. It's not that I in a live stream I'm gonna yell, but I'm in a really big hurry, like I have to leave in 15 minutes, but we have time for podium interviews and national anthems. And there's your top three of Alfonso winning from Amedy, and from Felix Negua, who finishes first time in the top three in EFL, but so does Amedy. So there's campaigning between all these drivers. So we have three very happy drivers or two. And I want to know what happened between Alfonso and Amedy in that last corner, where Alfonso basically waved towards Amedy and Amedy had to go wide. But I'm just gonna save this clip quickly. I hope it's gonna save the clip. There we go. So your top 20 is Alfonso winning from Amedy, Felix Negua in P3, Joab Titi P4, Eduk P5, VRT7 P6, Napla P7, J-Luke P8, Hartza P9, Hamza P10, Wickmill P11, Semilavik P12, PNP Trunkats P13, and retirements of Fishy, James Killer, Toxic Tomato, GX, Games NL, and Body Driller. I'm quickly gonna take the screenshots, and we're gonna get all these drivers to the interviews. So luckily I have all of them as my friends. It won't be a long thing. Let's invite Felix Negua. And then we'll invite Alfonso Gomez. And then we'll invite who finished it? Amedy for the podium winners. And we have a first driver from the top three coming towards the podium winners, and now we're gonna wait for Amedy and Alfonso Gomez to join. And I try to find Amedy, but he seems to be in offline mode, which I really hate, so it's gonna make my work really much harder to invite him, because he has a very difficult name in PSN. There we go. Now we're gonna wait for hometown hero of Alfonso Gomez joining, and then we can start this podium interview. And just a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll get this interview started. Amedy saying Alfonso made a mistake and came back, cost me. I had to swerve to avoid him and lost control. And now we're waiting for Alfonso and Amedy, so we'll wait 1 more minute and then we're gonna start the interviews. But I know all of these drivers are gonna come because they've always came, and I'm just gonna quickly invite Alfonso once again to this session. So Amedy, come towards the podium interviews. Right, we can probably start from P3 driver. Felix Negua, do you have voice saving on?
Yep.
So, first race in EFL. And first podium in EFL. Can you tell us about the race? How did it go?
Yeah, it was quite chaotic at the start, I think, with the two VSCs right at the start, especially that first one, straight away after the lights went out, was quite weird, to be honest, but yeah, then I basically just had to pick up the pieces because everything around me seems to, yeah, just fall apart. Then I didn't really fight Cameron because I thought he would be the man on a mission today. Well, obviously he spun then and retired, and from then on it was just, you know, doing my best, just driving around, and yeah, didn't really have a battle for the last, don't know, nearly 30 laps.
Yeah, but how did it actually feel? Did you believe that you're gonna finish in top 3 in this race?
Not before the qualiers started, and not after the qualiers ended. Those were my first few laps on this track for a few months now, and wasn't really used to the track at all. But then, you know, when I got around like lap 10 or something, I got into the rhythm of the track, enjoyed it, and then I thought, alright, I'm in P3 and I should probably have it if I just keep on going like that. So yeah, before the race I didn't think it was possible, but like after the first around 10 laps I thought this could be a podium again.
Right, and now we have a championship leader, Alfonso Gomez, who's joined to the session, but unfortunately his mic is broken, but he sent me a voice message over WhatsApp, so we're gonna quickly listen towards this WhatsApp message what he sent it. So
Eric, as I don't have a microphone yet, please tell Amadi.
Okay, so he's just saying that he's very happy, and he told me to do the podium interviews for him, and he wrote to me this message. He was very happy to win. He apologizes for Amadi for crashing into him, and he's very happy that he won ahead of his how do you say it, home people, ahead of Spanish people. So he said that for Monaco, he's gonna wait it eagerly, one of his favorite tracks. So he hopes that he will be leading the championship after Monaco. But as we have a tradition in EFL, we're gonna now hear the winner drivers national anthem and winner constructors national anthem. So take a seat, take your hats off for national anthems of Spain and Germany. And that was the national anthems of Spain and Germany. Congratulations for the top 3 of Alfonso Gomez, Amadi, and Felix Negua. And thank you for the viewers who stayed up this late. This was EFL Season 1, Race 5, Round 5 in Spain, Catalonia. And next week we'll be racing in Round 6 in Monte Carlo, Monaco. So I'll see you next week, and wherever you are in the world, good morning, good night, good day, and I'll see you again next time. Ciao, ciao. and we have a